Hey guys, welcome to my second YouTube video in my Prep to Nationals. I had initially planned on doing one a week, but as it turns out, YouTube editing these videos is time consuming and difficult. And so I'm a little behind. This is my second one, and I am going to talk about my take on flexible dieting versus clean eating while in prep. I have now done it both ways, and I'm a little nervous to talk about this because I feel like there's so much judgment from either side in fitness, like, oh, I do flexible dieting. You don't do flexible dieting? How do you even live? So I'm afraid to put my opinion out there, but I'm going to because I think it's important and I think it's something worth talking about. And here's my disclaimer: I'm not a coach, I'm not a licensed nutritionist, I have nothing but my own experiences to share here. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm constantly learning, constantly trying things and making mistakes and learning from them. So here, as we evolve, that's just kind of how it works. I'm also going to try to do this in one clip because I despise trying to edit them together, and I will get better at it, but right now, so there might be some rough spots. I'm not going to edit them out because ain't nobody got time for that. So I should probably edit that out, but okay, so first I'm going to start talking about if it fits your macros, flexible dieting, macro counting. So in that, the objective is to plan your own food and get them all to fit within a set amount of calories or macros. X amount of protein, X amount of carbs, X amount of fat. You pick what you eat and you fit it in. The bright side of this, or the upside, that people like about flexible dieting is that you can fit your treats into your day. So there's no cheating mindset, there's no food is off limits, there's no bad food, good food mindset in this type of diet. This is the way that I dieted for my first prep last fall, and it started out, my macros are really high, had a lot of calories to work with, and it worked really slick. Like, I ate all of my good foods, and then I had room for my froyo or my cookie or whatever I wanted at night for my treat. And it worked really well. We had some great results, but as we got closer to prep, further into prep and closer to competition, and I continued to lose calories as we're trying to stay in a deficit and keep losing that fat, I didn't have the room for the treats. And here was my issue, and some people are much better at this and have more self-control than I did, but I would, instead of eating my sweet potatoes for dinner, I would skip that and I would come home and eat junk food, and I would skip eating the good quality healthy foods in favor of satisfying my sweet tooth. And as the cravings got worse, the problem kind of got worse, and I found myself binging more, or 10 more grams of carbs won't make a big difference. And I really struggled toward the end of my prep, staying in my macros and not starving, because I was eating a lot of junk macros or very calorie dense foods, and I wasn't full. I was hungry all the time and always craving more, and it was a struggle for me. I was not able to find a good balance at such a calorie deficit. Back in the beginning, when I had plenty of calories and macros to work with, it was a slick system. I was very happy and it worked. Okay, clean eating, which is the way that my new coach and I are doing this prep. And I eat clean throughout the week, lots and lots of food. My calorie level intakes are pretty much the same, but I'm on a meal plan and he's saying eat this and this and this. And I want to clarify before I go any further, this isn't some type of like bro science, white fish and asparagus 6 times a day diet. I have tons of flexibility. I have tons of options and choices, a way to mix things together to really make good food while eating clean. And in the beginning of our prep, again, when I had lots of calories to work with, he gave me the flexibility of if I really needed a treat, I could kind of swap out some of my food and swap in a treat. And I opted, since I kind of already had a bad history with that, we opted to do an untracked refeed or cheat meal at the end of the week. So it wasn't like when they say a cheat day, it wasn't a cheat day, and it wasn't like a 10,000 calorie binge. It was one meal, whatever I was craving, stop when I'm full, and move on with my life. And for me, looking forward to that meal at the end of the day and or at the end of the week, looking forward to that cheat meal and knowing that there were boundaries, like it's this, and then we get right back on it, that worked so much better for me, personally. And it may not work that way for other people, and that's fine, but I wanted to share my opinion on it and why it has worked for me. And now, as we've gotten further into prep and closer to competition, and we're kind of having to tighten things up and drop calories here and there, we've cut out those cheats because I would rather eat clean and volume. I mean, I'm going to get to that. My third point, so my first, recap what I'm doing here. My first point was flexible dieting. My second point is clean eating. And my third point, which is going to be really fun, is a visual aid. And I love visual aids. I'm really excited about this. But I'm not going to ruin the surprise. So for me, the clean eating and the volume of the food that I'm eating is far better of a system than being able to fit in junk foods that are calorie dense. I'm not hungry. I mean everyone's a little hungry, but I'm not starving and I'm not cranky, and the less of the processed foods and sugars that I'm eating, the less I'm craving them, and I'm feeling satisfied, and my body is loving the food. I've just had incredible results since we've been eating and prepping this way, and I'm very, very happy with it. Okay, so that's kind of my take on those two topics. And lastly, I want to talk about volume and give a visual aid. So if you've got X amount of calories to work with or macros to work with, and you eat a protein bar or a cookie or frozen yogurt or whatever your vice is, those are typically calorie dense foods, and a small portion takes up a lot of your calories or a lot of your macros. Okay, I can't wait any longer. This is such a good thing. Okay, here we go. You're gonna be so excited. Okay, whatever. I took a picture of myself. I have yet to figure out how to really flip my screen around. It's ridiculous. But here I have, I have, for your viewing pleasure, a Lenny and Larry's cookies and cream brownie. Freaking delicious. I love these. There's nothing wrong with these. They are amazing. On plate number 2, we have 3 ounces of chicken, a cup of broccoli, 150 grams of sweet potatoes, and 50 grams of avocado. So my little brownie, my huge plate of food. Little brownie, big plate of food. The cool thing about this that I'm excited to talk about is that those 2 plates of food have the same macros, same calorie count. I measured it out, I weighed it. There is about 340 calories in that if you eat the whole brownie, 20 grams of protein, 40 grams of carbohydrates, and 10 grams of fat. That is also what was on my big plate. So when I talk about volume and I talk about being hungry, if you're in a calorie deficit, you're hungry. If you're dieting, you're hungry. So why wouldn't you fill your belly with as much volume as possible so that you're not as hungry? For me to eat this little bitty baby brownie, which is not much, not even as big as my hand, for 340 calories, or to eat this monster plate of delicious food, which is cold, so it's really not all that aesthetically pleasing right now, but you get what I'm saying. So basically, in summary, what I'm saying is eat smart, feed your body what it needs, all of the fuel, all of the good healthy things that it needs, and if you have truly extra calories and extra macros, fit your treats in. That's what's worked for me. But the key thing is to make sure that you're getting the healthy foods and not just filling your macros with junk food, because it is possible to do it. It's pretty possible. You still have to eat fairly clean, but you can cut out some of those healthier, better, more volume things for calorie-dense treats. And now I have to try not to eat this because I'm on prep and it does not fit into my meal plan. Okay, that's all I've got. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this does not spark like some god-awful debate, because I hate those. I'm not saying one way is right or one way is wrong, or that a mix of the two. I'm just saying this is what's worked for me. This is what I've learned in my journey. This is what I've learned through 2 preps, and I hope that this information is helpful to you. So thank you for following, thank you for subscribing and watching and taking the time to watch me do ridiculous things on video. I appreciate you.